Single dad jailed for protecting a woman, later found out she owned the prison bank account. Ethan Hayes never imagined a single night would flip his world upside down. He had just finished his late shift at the auto garage, hands stained with oil and exhaustion weighing heavy on his shoulders. His daughter, Lily, was asleep at Mrs. Parker's next door, like most nights when he worked late to make ends meet. The streets were quiet, the kind of quiet that feels too thin, too hollow, like something was waiting to happen. And then he heard it. A woman's scream, sharp, terrified. Ethan didn't think. He didn't hesitate. He ran. At the corner near the abandoned hardware store, he saw her, a woman in a torn cream dress, struggling against a man twice her size. The attacker slammed her against a wall, one hand at her throat. "Let her go," Ethan roared. The man turned, eyes bloodshot and wild. "Walk away, hero." Ethan didn't walk away. Minutes later, after fists, blood, and adrenaline, the attacker lay unconscious on the ground. The woman gasped for breath, shaking. "Are you okay?" Ethan asked. Yes, thank you," she whispered, eyes wide and stunned. But before either could say another word, police sirens split the night. Ethan turned, hands raised. "Officer, it's not. Hands where I can see them." The officer barked. The attacker groaned and muttered just enough to twist the story. "He jumped me, tried to rob me," and Ethan, without a witness willing to speak yet, was taken away. The woman stared, trembling, wanting to speak up, but fear froze her. Ethan didn't blame her. He never would. Ethan was sentenced to 6 months for aggravated assault. 6 months ripped away from his daughter. 6 months in a system he had never touched before. Inside Brookstone County Correctional Facility, he kept to himself. He read old paperbacks in the corner of the recreation room. He worked in the workshop silently. He wrote letters to Lily every night even though Mrs. Parker read them to her. It was the only way to stay sane. But the strangest thing kept happening. Guards treated him differently, not badly, but oddly politely. Inmates whispered around him but never confronted him. His commissary account always had extra funds. Small amounts at first, then bigger. He assumed it was a clerical mistake, or anonymous charity, or maybe Mrs. Parker helping. Ethan didn't question it, until everything changed. 3 months into his sentence, the warden approached him. "Hayes, visitor." Ethan frowned. He had no one except Lily, and children weren't allowed inside. He followed the guard to the visitation room. A woman sat at the far table. His breath caught. The cream dress was gone, replaced with a navy blazer, neatly pressed trousers, and confidence instead of fear, but it was her. The woman from that night. She rose slowly. "Ethan Hayes." He nodded stiffly. You didn't have to come." "Yes, I did." She stepped forward, eyes full of something between guilt and gratitude. "My name is Arya Linton." The name meant nothing to him. "I came that night to testify," Arya said softly. "But the man who attacked me, he works for someone dangerous. I was threatened. I stayed silent. And you paid the price." Ethan swallowed hard. "It's okay. You were scared." Her eyes glossed. "No, it's not okay. And I'm here to fix it." He blinked. "Fix it?" Arya pulled out a folder, sliding it across the table. "I filed a sworn statement. The district attorney reopened your case. You'll be released in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. His breath trembled. 2 weeks from seeing Lily again. 2 weeks from freedom. "Why now?" he whispered. Arya hesitated, then exhaled. "Because I'm not just Arya Linton." She reached into her bag and placed a slim, silver bank ledger on the table. Ethan frowned. "What is that?" "The master ledger for Brookstone County Correctional Facility," she said quietly. He stared blankly. Arya continued, "I own the accounts that fund this prison's operations. Salaries, maintenance, commissary, transfers, everything. My family owns the trust that finances the entire facility." He froze. "You own the prison's bank account?" "Yes." He leaned back, stunned. She watched him carefully. "Ethan, I added money to your commissary account because it was the only thing I could do before coming forward." Ethan swallowed. "You didn't have to." "I did." She stepped closer, voice shaking. "You saved my life, and I let you lose yours, even for a while." Guilt washed over her like a confession long buried. "I'm sorry," she whispered. Ethan exhaled slowly. "You didn't owe me anything. I did what anyone should do." "No," she said firmly. "Most people would have walked away." The next 2 weeks were surreal. Guards treated Ethan with even more respect. Whispers followed him everywhere, and Arya visited every single day. She brought him books. She brought him updates on Lily, whom she visited with Mrs. Parker's permission. She brought him stories from outside to remind him life was still waiting for him. One afternoon, she asked, "What's the first thing you'll do when you're free?" Ethan smiled faintly. "Make pancakes for Lily. She loves them. I used to make pancakes every Sunday." Arya smiled warmly. "Then I hope she gets the biggest stack of pancakes in the world." He chuckled. "I'll try my best." But beneath every conversation, something simmered between them, unspoken, delicate, impossible to ignore. Guilt, gratitude, something new. Release day arrived under a bright, cloudless sky. Ethan stepped out of the prison gates wearing the same torn jeans and faded jacket he came in with. But now, he felt heavier and lighter at the same time. Arya leaned against her silver SUV, waiting. "You came," he said quietly. "Of course." Her smile was soft. "Come on. Lily's waiting." His heart thudded. They drove to Mrs. Parker's small house. Lily burst out the door the moment she saw him. "Daddy." Ethan knelt, catching her as she jumped into his arms. The world stopped. Everything meaningless melted away. Arya watched with a smile that trembled. Lily finally pulled back. "Daddy, this lady visited me. She told me you saved her. She told me you're a hero." Ethan shot Arya a stunned look. She blushed slightly. "Well, he is." Mrs. Parker approached. "Arya's been visiting Lily almost every day. Buying groceries. Helping around." Ethan's eyes softened. "You didn't have to do that." Arya met his gaze. "I wanted to." He noticed something then, something he hadn't allowed himself to see before. The way she looked at Lily with warmth. The way she looked at him with something deeper. Something that scared him, something that pulled him in. Arya insisted on driving them home. When they arrived at Ethan's small apartment, she followed him upstairs with a small folder in her hands. "I have something for you." Ethan frowned. "Arya, you've already done enough. Please," she whispered. "Just let me." She handed him the folder. Inside were documents, court papers declaring his conviction overturned, a letter from the district attorney apologizing, and one more thing. A check. Ethan's breath hitched. "Arya, this is too much." "It's compensation," she said gently. "For time lost, for income lost, for everything. It's still too much." She stepped closer, voice trembling. "Ethan, I spent months knowing an innocent man sat behind bars because of me. This is the least I can do." He looked into her eyes, brown, soft, heavy with sincerity. "You've already given me my freedom," he whispered. "And you gave me mine," she murmured. "I lived in fear for so long. Because of that night, and because of the man who hurt me. And yet you stepped in, a stranger, and put yourself at risk." Their breath mingled. Silence stretched thin between them. She looked down, nervous. "If you never want to see me again, I understand." Ethan reached out gently, lifting her chin. "I didn't say that." Her breath caught. "Arya," he whispered, surprising even himself. "I don't know what this is. But you've been there for Lily. For me, more than anyone." A tear slipped down her cheek. He brushed it away with his thumb. "Let's take this slow," he murmured. "Slow is good," she whispered. And for the first time since the night everything changed, she smiled, bright, hopeful, free. Weeks passed. Arya became a constant in their lives, visiting after work, helping Lily with homework, taking them to the park, bringing Ethan coffee during job interviews. One evening, as they cooked dinner together, Lily tugged Arya's sleeve. "Ari, yes, sweetheart, will you stay with us forever?" Arya froze, eyes wide. Ethan's heart stopped. Lily grinned innocently. "Daddy smiles more when you're here." Arya glanced at Ethan. He felt something shift inside him, something warm, terrifying, beautiful. "Arya," he said quietly once Lily left the room. "I know we said slow. But I want you here. I want you in our lives. Truly." She bit her lip, trying not to smile too big. "Are you sure?" He stepped closer. "I've never been more sure of anything." Her eyes shone. "Then, I'd like that. More than you know." He kissed her then, soft, grateful, full of everything they'd survived. And Arya held him like she'd been waiting her whole life for someone to see her. Not her wealth, not her power, but her. Months later, as summer crept in, Ethan received a letter. A job offer. Not from the garage, from Brookstone County Correctional Facility. Arya had refused to intervene. This came from the warden directly. Your behavior, leadership, and integrity were unmatched, the letter read. Ethan chuckled. They want me to work there. Arya raised an eyebrow. Irony. A little. You'll be great, she said softly. You really think so? She leaned into him. I know so. He kissed her forehead, heart full. Lily's laughter echoed from the living room. Arya's hand slipped into his. Ethan exhaled with a peace he'd never known. From inmate to protector. From stranger to love. From single dad to family. Life had flipped his world, but for the first time, it had flipped it in his favor. And he wasn't letting go.